If you're ahead of the game when it comes to your live streaming and you're setting up multiple live streams, you want to make sure that you're also ahead of the game preparing for those live streams. So if you've got a number of live streams scheduled or on the books and you're going to go live in the spur of the moment as you are streaming, you want to make sure that you're still ready to go. So when you have a few minutes of time, what I want you to do is create your agenda. Now we talk about this a lot at Livestream Action Plan so that you know exactly what you're going to be saying and you have those words on screen. So this is like a bullet point topic list of what you're going to be talking about, and sometimes it includes personal notes that you're not showing on screen, and sometimes it's things that you are showing on screen and extra things that you're showing on screen, but it's all within the program you're using to live stream so that you know exactly what is coming next and have the ability to put it on screen if that's something you want to do. Now some programs only allow you to have one list at a time, which means you can type it in a Word doc or a Google doc or a note on your phone and you can copy and paste and switch them out as needed. But what I love to do more than that is to actually plan my list in advance, which is why I love BeLive, because they allow you to have multiple lists at any given time. So for me, I have multiple live streams that I do every single week on my different platforms, and I always want to make sure that I've got my running list of agenda points. Now with other programs, I would have to swap these out. It would be a lot of extra work for me, which is why I love setting up my continuous live streams through BeLive, because I can set up the list and then just pick the list I want and edit the little points that I need to. If I've got a guest on or if I'm changing something that I'm going to be talking about, I can just tweak the points that I need, but I still have those lists. So let's actually take a look at how to do that inside of BeLive. Now once you are inside of BeLive, you are going to be able to come over to the text on screen area, and if you don't see it over here, it is over on the left hand side. So you're just going to click on that on screen agenda and that will pop it out either right here in this little pop out, or you have the ability to use this little arrow button and it will bring it over to the panel, which I like better because this allows you to see things much clearer. It's not over your guests or your face while you're live streaming. I definitely love the pop out version. Now from here you can create a new list and you can title that sample, and we are just going to click on create. At that point you then can put in your title or your crawler. So title is what goes overlaid on your screen. Title or crawler is the thing that scrolls across the bottom of your screen. So you can indicate which version this is and you can add your title. So let's say test title, and a private note is not shown here on screen. Now in other platforms, the secondary thing is shown on screen. So just be aware that there are differences in the different platforms that you might use. And I've linked tutorials for BeLive and Restream and Melon and all the good ones down below, so you can pick which is the best platform for you. I also have extended free trials of these different programs for you and some bonuses down below as well as the tutorials. And so we're going to put in your test title, and then you can just click that update button. At that point, it is going to show it on screen, and because I'm not on screen, it is not putting that. Alright, there we go, so you can see where that is, but because it's white on white, I would then have to change my branding colors. So then I would just come into theme, and I would be able to edit my colors, and I can then go ahead and apply that, so now you can actually see where those words are. So you're ready to go with that, and then you can also add in anything else that you would like. So let's say test crawler here, we'll change that over to crawler and click update. You can show that on screen at the same time, and then you can just rotate through whatever you need. You have the ability, of course, to hide it, and if you don't want it, you can hit that trash can button and remove it, or you can hit the little pen button and you can then edit it if there's a typo, or like I said, if you have stored this and you just have the ability to go in and change your guest's name or to change your topic title or some of your talking points, while also leaving things like your website, your name and your title, and your different calls to action. So you want to make sure that those are there and ready to go. Now once this is done, you have the ability to go back and start a new list. As you can see, I have a lot of running lists going on here that I can just go ahead and put up on my screen when I need to. I can rotate through things so that it's already created and ready to go. And again, if I need to change my branding colors, I can just go ahead and change those for whatever show that I need. And remember, these overlays, these crawlers, the different things are going to look a bit different depending on the theme you're using. Theme, of course, coming down to your branding panel right on the bottom. And you would just click on theme and you have the ability to switch over to a modern look as well, so you can kind of see the difference between the two and what works best for each individual show you're doing. So at that point, these just live here forever until you delete them. You do have the ability to grab that little box of circles and you can move these around. So if you've got something that's more of a priority, you can move it up. Something that you're doing once or twice, you can move that down. Whatever you need to make it work best for you. You can even arrange these in terms of which days you're going to need those on. And of course you can click the 3 little dots and you can either duplicate it so you can make a very similar list and then change that and tweak that if you need to, or you can edit your name, or you can delete it entirely. And it does tell you how many different things you have listed in each. So some of my shows have a lot of potential things that we could be putting up here, and things that I may need in the future or to remind me of later on, or notes to myself. And then of course I've got ones with much, much less, so that it's a lot easier for me to find. So whatever you need, whatever works best for you, you can do it right in here. You also have the ability to switch these lists while you're on air. So whenever you're on air and you're doing things, all you have to do is rotate through them. You can change what you need and you're good to go. Now once you have all of your lists created, you do have the ability to rotate through them. You can move them around, whatever it is you need to do to make it most actionable for yourself. And I do recommend scheduling these in advance. So if you know you have a live stream coming up, even if you haven't scheduled it inside of the system, I do recommend getting your agenda set up. Now you can do this through a Word doc or a Google Doc or notes on your phone, but that's just extra transferring for you. So I actually make all of mine inside of my system, and then they're just ready to go. If I need to duplicate it and then tweak it for a secondary program that is similar but not exactly the same, I can do that so that I have different versions of this, and I very clearly denote what that is with my title so that I can easily find it as I'm moving through my content to make sure that when I need to go live, all I have to do is sit down, click on the one agenda that I need, and all I have to do is hit that live stream button because I've already scheduled it or I'm ready to go with my title, and I don't have to worry about that while I'm live streaming. So when I know I've got a show coming up, I always do this in advance, usually a couple of days in advance, but sometimes right before I go on air as well if I need to tweak something, and then I'm ready to go. And I always make sure I've got a basic one as well. So even if I'm doing a spur of the moment live stream, I've got my name and my title, my websites, calls to action, do you have questions? The basic things that I'm going to need are already done in a staple version of this, so that even if I'm going live in the moment, I still have access to that and I can type in what I need. And pro tip here, when you're doing this, you actually have the ability to add things while you're on air. So let's say your guest brings something up and you want to type in their website, or you want to type in something that people should be taking note of, or a new topic comes up. You can do that while you're on air. You just add it in and then show it right on screen and you're good to go. So I always create a number of lists so that I'm ready to go for my live streams and I never have to struggle while I'm on air. For more tips on how you can be leveling up your live streaming and taking all the stress out of growing your business, platform, and community through live streaming, make sure you give us a follow, because we are helping you to level up through Live Stream Action Plan, where we're giving you exactly what to say and do on air so that you never have to stress or struggle. In our next video, we are going to be continuing to talk about how you can level up your live streaming, so hit that subscribe and notification bell, and I will see you over there.